Hey everyone, it's Dabacabb here, and I'm going to cover 5 simple tips that can help you become a better player overall in Overwatch. So first off, you need to be able to identify why you're failing. This is one of the most important skills in Overwatch, and unfortunately, there isn't always a really easy answer to that question. So you need to be able to adapt to the situation, watch your opponents, figure out what's working, what's not working. One of the best tips is to hit tab and see who on the enemy team is on fire. If the person who keeps killing you is on fire, then that probably means that you're playing the wrong character. Another thing to watch out for is that players have a tendency to keep trying a bad strategy under the assumption that if you keep getting better at it and getting better at it, then eventually it'll work. And that's not always the case. Sometimes the enemy team figures out your strategy, they counter it effectively, and you need to realize that as soon as possible. There's a great example in one of my other videos where I have a really great game as a Genji, and I'm trying to get to the back line to get their Widowmaker, and in fact Genji's a strong counter to the Widowmaker, so that's what I should be doing. But the Widowmaker sets up with their team in a way that it's really hard for me to get to, and I just can't reach her, so she's just killing me left and right. So I change my strategy, we adapt to the situation, and I change both my character and our team approach, and we go on to win the game. Here's the clip very briefly.
Oh, damn, she...
Oh, Mercy was way the fuck out of position.
Yes, she was walling. I did not hear that at all.
If I knew.
The Widowmaker's in the back, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, how novel!
This,
Anybody see the Mercy?
we could use a, yeah, there... Maybe a Reinhardt would be good. I'm gonna have to switch to Reinhardt. I'm gonna count really hard.
Do that. Go Reinhardt.
Yeah,
What I
I
do,
go
then.
Reinhardt. It's alright.
Whoa!
Got their Mercy! Probably gonna die for it.
Down.
Roadhog in the middle.
Soldiers down. McCree's... Mercy's almost down. Mercy's down. Let's push it. Let's push it.
Go, guys, go!
Nice. Good job. Good teamwork.
Suck it.
Awesome.
Tip number 2 is understand your role. I don't mean role as in assault, defense, support, whatever. I mean your role as in what you are supposed to be bringing to the team that no one else can do. What is your job? What are you trying to accomplish? Zenyatta is a really good example of this. Because Zenyatta doesn't have the strongest healing in the game, he's often paired with a Mercy or a Lucio to help boost the team. So on the surface level, you might just think that it's Zenyatta's job to heal and to dish out damage, and that's true, sure, that's what he's going to be doing, but it's much more nuanced than that. For example, let's suppose you have a Tracer or a Genji on your team as well. Since those characters are flankers who are going to be behind enemy lines, it's going to be very difficult for the Mercy to reach them and heal them. But since your healing orbs have unlimited range, you can throw them on your Genji from afar and heal them up and keep them alive. So that's something that you need to prioritize over healing other players. Also, Zenyatta does a lot of damage, but you need to be able to understand who you're supposed to be killing on the enemy team. So you as a player need to be able to identify what it is you're supposed to be doing. Do they have 3 tanks and we need a Zenyatta because we need their Discord Orb to cut their health? Then you need to be Discord Orbing the tanks. Are you up against a Tracer who's just destroying your team? Well, in that case you should be focusing your Discord Orbs on her to help increase the pressure and hopefully get a kill. Here's an example from a game I played. I was playing a Genji, and as Genji it's your job to get into the backline and disrupt their healers. So I spent the entire game destroying their Mercy, and because of that, they couldn't get a strong push onto the game and win.
Play of the game.
Alright, let's see.
Is he esoteric the Mercy? No, she wasn't. Yeah, that's basically what I did that whole game. That Mercy got on point maybe twice, and then I killed her.
Tip number 3 is notice player habits. It's generally the case that once a player finds something that they like doing or that's effective, they'll keep doing it over and over and over because they think it's going to work again. But if you can identify these habits in the enemy team, then you are able to predict what they're going to do, and that prediction holds power. For example, I played a game as May a little while ago, and I noticed that the Tracer kept blinking over the cliff to point B. So I waited and laid a trap for her, and sure enough, I got an easy kill. The way I pulled that off was I just kept an eye on the kill cam. I watched until Tracer died, waited, 5 or 10 seconds, then I went and hid over in that area where I thought that she would blink to, and sure enough, here she is.
Nice, Wes.
Mercy coming in on the left.
I've got you on my sights.
Oh, fuck you, Tracer.
Tip number 4 is study the game and study gameplay footage. This is a tip that we take straight out of professional sports. Of course, pro gamers get a lot of value out of going to the gym, going to the field, and practicing with their teammates, but they still take the time out of their practice to sit down and watch gameplay footage of their opponents to figure out how they play, what strategies they use. Now granted, you can't do that really with Overwatch because you don't know who you're going to be up against and there's not going to be gameplay footage of them available, but you can study Overwatch in other ways. You can go to YouTube, you can watch Twitch streams. Everything you can do to learn more about this game, to learn more about how other people play, can help round you out as a player, learn new strategies, and improve your game. Tip number 5 is practice with focus. I read a really interesting post on Reddit of a pro StarCraft gamer who described the mentality of practicing with focus to become a professional. He said, "I'd focus on one single thing to improve every game, and I'd make a concerted effort to become better at it. Then I'd watch the replay and identify the first instance where I made a mistake." So it's the same general idea with Overwatch. Sure, if you boot up the game and play a few rounds, you will get better, just because by playing you will improve your skills. But you need to be able to identify what you're not doing well and what you could do better, and then make a serious concerted effort to do that in your next game. These can be very small. You can make like little baby steps. So if you're playing Lucio and you notice that you keep overextending, getting too zealous, and getting on the front line and getting picked off, then in future games, just every single match, think to yourself, I'm not going to be on the front line as Lucio. I need to stay behind my tanks and support my team rather than rushing forward. And if you just do that over and over and over, then eventually you won't have to think about it anymore and it'll become second nature. And then you move on to the next strategy. Okay, from now on I need to learn more about wall gliding. I need to wall glide more and more as Lucio. Then after that you move on to the next thing, like aiming better with your left click. I need to focus on leading with my left click. And these small objectives over time become second nature. So just remember, when you play Overwatch, you're not just playing the game to get better, you are playing to practice a skill, to master a skill and get better specifically. So practice with focus. So thanks for watching my video. If you have any other tips, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. I'm trying to get better at Overwatch just like you are. Also, if you want me to go more in depth in any one of these 5 points, let me know in the comments and maybe I can expand on this video with follow-up videos in the future. Alright, thanks for watching. Dabacabb out.